Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadhamman Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sagga Mukkadam Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Idang ko pana bhikkhave dukkhaṃ ariya sacchaṃ Jātipi dukkha jarapi dukkha Vyādipi dukkho maranaṃpi dukkhaṃ Appiyehi sampayogo dukkho Piyehi vippayogo dukkho Yang piccang nalabati tangpi dukkhaṃ saṅkittena pancupada nakkanda dukkhati Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in Dhamma, today we are broadcasting our Dhamma sermon from Ottawa Theravada Buddhist Vihara in Canada. We are normally every Monday evening broadcasting our Dhamma service for the all throughout worldly beings for the betterment of their lives. This is our mission. What we are trying to understand people, what's the rightest way that their life is leading to happiness, and also how to get rid of all the sufferings from their minds, and also how to live with peaceful mind without harming anyone. So that is what the Buddha was thought about, giving these good Dhamma service for the worldly beings. I am pleasure to having this Dhamma sermon and sharing Dhamma with all of you for your convenience of this life, and also supramundane life. That means the after life. The mundane means this life, and supramundane means the after death life, the next bhava, it means. So we have discussed about so many topics in the past sessions. So today I thought about it would be better to teach you about Four Noble Truths. This is the beginning of elucidating what is the Four Noble Truth is. Why was the Buddha explain about these Four Noble Truths? What are the excellencies that we can gain from hearing of these Four Noble Truths? And also we have to consider about especially what are the psychological terms which is related to this Buddhist philosophy that is helpful to our mindset to get rid of all the sufferings. As an ancient religion, the Buddhism is conveying a lot of psychological terms to heal human mind. That's the best equipment to heal human mind. There is no any machines to give insight, peaceful insight, happiness, or that is the purification way in human mind. You know, we can use any equipments to clean houses or clean anything else. Clean our body, we can use water or something, clean our clothes for our body, but there is no any solution to purify except doing meditation or following the doctrine, any types of doctrines that would be helpful to cure the people's mind. The Buddhist philosophy is conveying actual truth, the reality of the world. You know, that everybody, even animal, is like to hear the kind words, truthful words. That is what the 2000 years ago, 2500 years ago, the Lord Buddha had been prevailing this Buddhism throughout the world, throughout India especially, giving advices to each and every people. And even gods came to hear this Dhamma. That's what we have to understand, how important listening of this Buddhist philosophy to our mindset. That's why we have to use to understand, and we have to use to listen these Dhamma sermons day-to-day life to heal for our happiness, for our betterment of our life. Anybody can listen Dhamma without paying money. Contemporary society, we have a lot of technical benefits such as YouTube or Facebook or websites. Can read, we can listen, we can study Dhamma. That's what we have to use the technology for our convenience. But keep in mind, when you are using anything, you have to use them with mindfully. That is what the Lord Buddha's advice. I have thought about discussing Four Noble Truths as per the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So it means the wheel of Dhamma. That is the very essential formula in Buddhism. The Lord Buddha's first Dhamma sermon, actually, it was. Dhamma means doctrine. Chakka means wheel. The doctrinal wheel of Dhamma. That is the meaning of Dhammacakkappavattana formula. A lot of a huge variety of gods came to just listen this Dhamma sermon at the occasion of the Buddha was prevailing this Dhamma sermon among 5 hermits. I think everybody know who are them. The 5 hermits are, we can call them namely Kondanya, Vappa, Baddhiya, Mahanama, and Asaji. This Dhamma sermon was promulgated by Buddha at the Isipatana Migadaya. The Isipatana is the place where situated at in India, in Varanasi, in city of Varanasi, in Isipatana, that was the forest. Actually, where the Buddha preached this Dhamma sermon have been prevailing a lot of deers. That is what the place called Migadaya. Miga mean in Pali language, deer. The place was a lot of deers dwelling at the period of 6th century. So the Buddha, after enlightenment, after enlightening of the real truth of the world, the worthy one wanted to share this Dhamma among the people. So considering about who are the people, which is who are the people can understand this deep Dhamma, the Buddha was considered, and Buddha was search who are the capable people understanding of this Dhamma. While considering this matter, actually the omniscience one was not found any person throughout the world is capable to understand this Dhamma, because it has found the profound meaning, the profound understanding. That's why there was no anyone. That's the Buddha's concern, actually. The Buddha's mind At that time, the Brahma called Sahampati, the Sahampati Brahma understood Buddha's mindset suddenly at the moment. Understanding and seeing the Buddha's mindset, the Sahampati Brahma suddenly came to meet the Buddha. Having worshipped to the Lord Buddha, invited to preach this great, wonderful, amazing Dhamma throughout the world. The Sahampati Brahma was invited to the Lord Buddha preach throughout the world. I think that's the invitation I have ever seen. It was helpful to all the human beings for all world, throughout world, even devas. Accepting of this invitation from Sahampati Brahma, the Lord Buddha thought that is great invitation. I have to preach this deep Dhamma sermon to the human. The Buddha went to meet 5 ascetics that I have introduced you to in earlier, Kondanya, Vappabaddiya, Mahanama, and Asaji. So there are 5 ascetics, those who lived in Isipatana forest. That was big forest. So the Buddha went to meet 5 ascetics. When Buddha coming to meet 5 ascetics, they saw the Buddha is coming to urging help from them to understand Dhamma. Those 5 ascetics thought like that, because at the time of Buddha meditating to understand reality or these 4 noble truths, the 5 ascetics was help to the Buddha. That is why those 5 ascetics thought the Buddha couldn't understand 4 noble truths, or the Buddha couldn't able to attain enlightenment. That is why he is coming to get help from us. That was the intentions of 5 ascetics. Anyway, so the Buddha came to meet 5 ascetics, and then suddenly the omniscience one is achieving to the 5 ascetics. They couldn't able to stay with silence. The one person is went to get water to wash the Buddha's feet, and the another one went to prepare the chairs to sit Buddha's we call pulpit. And then after having respectful to the Buddha, those 5 ascetics understood about considering of the Buddha's characteristics. This is the one who was understood this supreme truth of the world. And then the Buddha began to introduce what he understood while he was meditating. The Buddha mentioned that to those 5 ascetics, there are 2 ways people are practicing to understand reality in this world. The first one is we can call sensual pleasures. The other one is self-torture. Kama Sukallikana Yoga and Atta Kilamatana Yoga. The Kama Sukallikana Yoga we call sensual pleasures. The second one is we can call Atta Kilamatana Yoga, self-torture. But the Buddha experienced these 2 ways actually. At the first, the Buddha experienced getting all the things with comfortable life in the king of Suddhodana palace. The Prince Siddhartha, he has 3 palaces. We can call them Ramya, Suramya, and Subha. But Prince Siddhartha couldn't understand the reality because he is following one path, Kama Sukallikana Yoga. And then, after teaching a lot of psychological things such as Vedanta, and also all the syllabus at the period of that time, the Buddha was studied under guidance of Disapamuk. And after so many teachers were taught to Prince Siddhartha, having finishing of study, the Prince Siddhartha wanted to find out how to get rid of all the suffering in the world. We can call that observation Ariya Pariyesana, noble research. In Majjhima Nikaya, the discourse of middle length, one of the sutta called Ariya Pariyesana, the noble researching. That sutta mentioned that what was the research of Prince Siddhartha. There are 2 researches. The one is Ariya Pariyesana, the second one is Anariya Pariyesana. So the first path was searching method is Kama Sukallikana Yoga. The having a lot of sensual pleasures, having a lot of comfortable things, and using a lot of comfortable stuff to the life. Prince Siddhartha was experienced sensual pleasures, cannot help to understand how to eradicate these mental sufferings. And then the Prince Siddhartha the ascetic Siddhartha was moved to next path that I have explained. But the second one was Atta Kilamatana Yoga, self-torture. So taking a lot of harmful activities, practicing a lot of harmful, and it was actually not comfortable life. So it was burdensome things that was happened to the face to Prince Siddhartha. But these two ways was this actually these two ways weren't help to understand reality, noble truths, Arya Satya. The word Satya is the important, very important, and there is no any valuable word, I think, in this world like Satya. Everybody like to listen truthful words. In Pali, I'm remembering one of the Pali term, Satchang have sadhu tarang rasana. The sweetest thing is in the world is truth. That's why we have to always use truthful words, right? So that is what building up our reliability among us. So the speaking of truthful word is giving a lot of beneficials. So having trustworthy while living around us, among our friends, among our relationships. That's why important everybody have to speak truthful words without using miscellaneous words. That's not, we have to use to speak useless words. So these Four Noble Truths we are introducing in Pali, Chatu Arya Satya. Chatu mean four, Arya mean noble, Satya mean truths. Four noble truths. There are four types of noble truths in the preached included to Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. The first one is we can call Dukkha Arya Satya. What is the suffering? Dukkha Arya Satya. And second one is Dukkha Samudaya Arya Satya, the cause of suffering. The third one is Dukkha Nirodha Satya, the cessation of suffering. The fourth one is the way cessation of suffering. Actually, this is the 4 methods we can use to resolve any problems. In psychologically, when it comes to describe these 4 noble truths as mentioned in Western psychology, there are 4 words. The first one is problem. The second one is cause of problem. The third one is remedy. The fourth one is treatment. When it comes to talk about in accordance with in medicine, it is the medical words, we can use them: symptoms, and second one is diagnosis, the third one is prognosis, the fourth one is treatment. It means prescriptions. Those 4 words we can use in hospitals. So those 4 words who can use, who are working in the side of medical fields. Some doctors are using these 4 words especially. In Pali, the Lord Buddha was found out these 4 concepts as noble truths. Nobody couldn't able to find out what is the real truth in the world. Even Deva, even deity, or even Mara, or even even Brahma couldn't able to find out these 4 types of noble truths. That is why we are calling the Lord Buddha as omniscience one. He knows everything. So when we are elucidating of these 4 noble truths, when we are speaking about, or when we are analyzing these 4 noble truths, we can study, we can grasp a lot of things after researching, after studying these 4 types of truth. The first one is dukkha satcha, the suffering. Why is this suffering happening for everybody? In human body, the human being is created by 2 elements. The first one is nama, and second one is rupa, mind and body, consciousness and psychic combination is created human life. And also, this Nama Rupa combination is cause to a lot of suffering, cause to a lot of strugglings, cause to a lot of conflictness for the human life. The Buddha wanted to explain others how to understand these inner conflicts and the outside of conflicts. That is what how importance giving us to learn throughout these Four Noble Truths. The suffering, the first one, we can analyze this suffering. There are so many ways. The first one is Jatipi Dukkha. Birth is cause to ill. The second one is Jarapi Dukkha. Decaying is cause to ill. The third one is Vyadipi Dukkha. Diseases are also cause to ill. Maranampi Dukkham. Death is cause to ill. There are so many ways we can explain what are the ways that cause to suffering to our mindset. The importance of learning these Four Noble Truths is what is the nature of this world, how is processing, how to control our mindset, how to resolve problems, why problems are coming to our mindset. Actually, the Lord Buddha said that in Loka Sutta in Sangyutta Nikaya. Loka Sutta means the formula of the world is included to Sangyutta Nikaya, the combination of the discourse of combination. That sutta mean one of the Brahmin came to just ask as a omniscience one, how many times do you want to explain all things in this planet? That was the question asked that Brahma from the Buddha. And Buddha gave him great answer. I can explain all things within 2 minutes, and it will be take more than 2 minutes. What is the choice of you? The Brahmin said, I want to listen within 2 minutes, but you are going to explain all the things which is in this world. The Buddha explained that this pattern long body is the world. This pattern long body is the world. That is the Buddha's short answer was. We can see all the world within this pattern long body. How important, how deep this word is. When it considered this pattern long body is partly, so we can divide it into mainly 2 parts. Nama, Rupa. Nama mean mind. Rupa mean body. So the mind is divided into 89 varieties. The 89 of mindsets. There are 89 types of minds in accordance with metaphysics. And then this Rupa, we can divide it mainly into 5 parts. Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya. Chakku mean eye. Sota mean ear. Gana mean tongue. The Kaya mean this body. Chakku, Sota, and also nose. Those 5. We can divide it into 5 parts mainly. And also we can divide it partially. You know, we have included to our body lungs and also a lot of things that included to our body, right? Brain and neurons and also muscles and also heart and also bones. A lot of things included to this pattern long body. And body and mind always changing. That is the cause to arising of suffering, changing. In accordance with Buddhism, what's the main thing that was arising of suffering is, we can say, impermanence, anicca. Anicca is the term that the Lord Buddha was advised to understand arising of this suffering. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Those 3 aspects that we have to understand to understand Four Noble Truths. Anicca means impermanence, dukkha means suffering, anatta means selflessness. You know, at the beginning of birth until die, human beings are usually decaying in every moment. That is why the Lord Buddha said, Jatipi dukkha. Birth is suffering. Birth is cause to suffering. Everything we can see. The birth is the beginning of dying. The birth is beginning of dying. That is what birth is suffering. You know, anybody can remember while we are living in for 10 months in the womb of our mother. Anybody can remember? Nobody can. So while we was living in our mother's womb for 10 months, that was not comfortable place. There was darkness, there was no any foods, and also there was no any compound, or there was no any ground to walk us. That is what the mother's womb was suffering place actually. That is why Buddhism is considering birth is the beginning of suffering. Jatipi dukkha. The second one is jarapi dukkha. Decaying is also suffering. Jarapi dukkha. Nobody likes to decaying their hair or wrinkling their skins. That is why people are using a lot of makeup, so such things that is helps to eradicate wrinkles or any white hairs in their body. They are making and they are creating any variety of surgeries or any types of taking homeopathy or a lot of things that is helping to generate or helping to stay in young life. The people is trying to live in their whole life with young body. People are trying to do so, but it is not actually happening in the world. How much money we have, how much properties we have, so how many things we have, those things are not sufficient to get rid of this suffering. The Lord Buddha said, Jarapi dukkha. Decaying is generating suffering in our mind. But Buddhism is helping to understand the nature of this pattern-long body and the world. World is always rotating with three words. The first one is impermanence. The second one is suffering. The third one is selflessness. Someone who are understanding these three words, they are the person who are understood what is the reality of this world. As an ancient philosophy, Buddhism is helping to understand everybody, even contemporary society. We can share these types of doctrinal formulas among us to understand what's the beneficial things that is helping to understand real truths. That's why the Lord Buddha said in auspicious sutta, we call Mangala Sutta, Dhamma Sakaccha is the discussing of Dhamma is very important, and also listening of Dhamma is the important thing to people to get rid of all the mental diseases from their minds. Even, you know, when we are understanding of these types of Dhamma, we are not considering about any other outside things. The happiness is generating inside of our mind, understanding of this spiritual auspicious philosophy. So we have to practice again and again to understand reality. That is why the Lord Buddha said the three words Pariyatti, Patipatti, Pativeda. The Pariyatti means states. So the next one is Pariyatti, Patipatti. Patipatti means practicing. The third one is Pativeda. Pativeda means result. What we were practiced in past, we will gain results in the future. That is why always we have to listen good things, speak good things, do good things. As a result of what we have done in past, we are gaining as a repercussions of those three karmic terms. Jarapi dukkha. So living with understanding of the nature of world is giving more happiness or giving more comfortableness or giving a lot of peaceful thoughts to our mind, because we know whenever we have to face old age, the old age is mostly placed to cause variety of diseases. That is what the Lord Buddha said, Jarapi dukkha and then Vyadipi dukkho. Diseases are caused to illness. Lot of diseases we have to face, such as fever or cancers or heart attacks, or there are so many diseases that we can see in the world. The thing is, we are not able to see who are the patient is, because the patient is bringing through ambulance. Nobody can see patients. But especially doctor is able to see who is the patient and what is the disease, what's the remedy, what's the treatment. That's why the Lord Buddha introduced as a great doctor, Chikitsaka. We are calling Chikitsaka, therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist. Vejjupamo jinavaro saddhammo osadupamo. The Buddha we have recognized as a great physician, as great surgeon, as great psychiatric. His own Dhamma we have recognized as great medicine we have ever seen in our life. There are two types of diseases in accordance with Roga Sutta. The first one we can call mind diseases. The second one is body diseases. We can see body diseases in our eye. With using of our eye, we are able to see what is the illness of our body that was happened. But the thing is, difficulty of seeing with using of our eye is what is the diseases of our inside mind. Nobody can see it except the supreme, someone who understood arahantship, the noble one. Those are the person who are able to see mental illnesses from other people. Without understanding of arahantship, nobody can see mental illnesses. Nobody understands mental illnesses from others. That's why the dangers of mental illnesses, we have to understood. We have to understand how dangerous is giving us to mental diseases. There are so many mental diseases we can explain: hatred, craving, greediness, illusion, delusion, avijja. Avijja means not knowing something, torpor, sloth, and also dissemble and hurting others and disturbing others. In modern psychology, there are a lot of mental diseases, there are a lot of mental illnesses, stress, distress, bipolar, and also we can say personality problems, borderline personality problems, and also we can explain anxiety, trauma, and also we can say depression. There are so many mental illnesses in accordance with modern psychology. Those every mental illnesses caused by three facts. What are they? The first one is lobha, craving or greediness. The second one is moha, illusion or delusion. Third one is dosa, hatred, harming thoughts, burdening thoughts. Those three mental desires is caused to every mental illnesses. We have to understand every moment what intention is arising in our mind. In this moment, what is the thought, what's the idea, what's the intention of arising in this moment, and then next moment, and then next moment. Lot of people who are suffering is in this world thinking about past life, and also they are thinking about future life. They are planning future life. That is what the Buddha advised to live with or practice mindfulness. Yo niso manasikara. So we can call gumption. We have to live with mindfully. That is the sufficient practicing method of Buddhism to get rid of all the mental sufferings. So actually, today Dhamma session, we have discussed enough things. So we have discussed about what are the Four Noble Truths, and then what is the suffering, and then we have discussed analyzing of First Noble Truth. There are three facts. The first one was Jatipi Dukkha, and second one is Charapi Dukkha, and third one was Vyadipi Dukkha. So I have discussed those things today Dhamma session. I will describe another things as a series of Dhamma sessions every Monday. So next Monday is going to describe another things, another matters. What is the root of suffering that we have to understand to get rid of mental illnesses all the way in our life? Because people are struggling, people are running this place to another place to another place, this country to another country, this village to another village. People are moving. So to find out or to live with happiness, but happiness and sadness is in one place. What is the place that is in our mind and in our body? Understanding of these two is helping to understand what's the nature of this world. That is the beneficial thing of learning Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist psychology. I think this Dhamma sermon was help to everybody understand a lot of things. You have learned some sort of psychological diseases, and also what are the main resources that was arising in our mind without using our energy. So finally, I'm going to conclusion my Dhamma session. Everybody should learn these Four Noble Truths in their life. That's my advice to everybody. Learning of this Four Noble Truth is giving huge a variety of sufficient knowledge in the planet, and then we can live very happy life throughout our lifetime. That is what final conclusion of this Dhamma sermon. So finally, I'm going to transfer all the merits which we have collected from hearing this Dhamma sermon and offering flowers, candles, incense, medicinal drinks to the Buddha. We have to share all the merits for all the deities who are expecting merits to increase their power of deity life. May they sharing these good karma, may they attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. May they protect us, may they protect our house, may they protect our everything, and also may they helping us to lead final goal of this life is called Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක සාසනං අභිවාදන සීලිස නිච්ඡං වද්දාපචායිනෝ චන්තාරෝ ධම්මා වඩ්ඩಂತಿ ආයුවන්නෝ සුඛං බලං ආයුරාෝග්‍ය සම්පatti සග්ග සම්පatti මේවච අතෝ නිබ්බාන සම්පatti ඉමිනාතේ සමිජ්ජතු සබ්බීතියෝ විවජ්ජන්තු සබ්බ රෝගෝ විනාශතු මාතේ භවත්වන්තරායෝ සුඛී දීඝායුකෝ භව භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ බුද්ධානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ ධම්මානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ භවතු සබ්බ මංගලං රක්ඛන්තු සබ්බ දේවතා සබ්බ සංඝානුභාවේන සදා සොත්ති භවන්තු තේ සාදු 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 may you triple gems bless you